tripod. I'm about to be doing some finish work on this property. We actually completed this past Friday, and we had some things that was missed. Usually when you got people that you're putting in position to complete a project, they're not going to be perfect the first time, especially without you being there. I tried this with two separate teams. One team that were pretty seasoned, they delivered, and I did not have to go back and do too much work. However, this project right here, I tried it with a secondary team, and they missed the mark a bit. Not too much, just a little details as far as just practical things like this here. This was the main reason that I'm back here today. You see this piece of sod, how it looked like it's flush, but it's actually sitting up a little bit. You can see it's kind of sitting up. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting this up. You can see it's not butted up against it. It's actually laying on top. You see this piece right here, that yellow piece? That means this piece of sod was laying on top of it. So this right here is a cut. This could have been prevented if they were just, putting the sod down and making sure they're not just throwing it on top and keeping it moving. They were probably moving too fast, but it's cool. I'm about to do what I have to do to make it right, because my client has already, they're already happy. So I'm going to make sure I continue to deliver on a quality service by not saying, oh, I'm too busy, or, oh, it ain't a big deal. No, it's very important, and it makes sense. Then the other call out was, this raised a question to, hey, the lawn needs to be rolled. And typically, to me, it's not to say it's a myth that lawns shouldn't be rolled. I get it. They can be rolled, if it's absolutely necessary. But I would say it's not really required to actually roll on. If you got the grade compacted in a certain way and you have topsoil, it really depends on the material you use. For my situation, yes, I should have rolled it. Compost material is a little bit more finer and it drains a little bit better. So in the same sense, it moves around a little bit more than other material. So given, I should have definitely, when they're basically throwing this stuff down, when they're putting the sod down, the material was shifting slightly. I'm trying to explain. So I'm just going to be, taking these extra little strips off if I see it, and I got to go through the full lawn to make sure it ain't looking too crazy. And I can walk it line by line, y'all. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk it down right here. Boom. One sticking up. Usually when I see it sticking up, all I got to do is outline where it's at. Right where it's sticking up. Start cutting on the outskirts of the slab. Move this piece back. And then lift out whatever I just cut. And sometimes it ain't that much. It's literally just a little piece. A little, it don't take much to make for the side not to have contact with the soil. In my estimate, what I send to my client says I will make sure the lawn is rolled. So if I put it in the contract, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I can't complain if somebody called me out on something that I listed. I listed what I would do, so I need to fulfill that service. I'm trying to make sure the mic's still on, because there's been some times that I've been talking and nobody can hear me, so I feel like a crazy person. Move this thing a little bit closer. Yeah, some of this sod is a little brown. I feel like we just increased the water frequency to every day. As you guys can see right now, this is a shaded area. So when you follow the normal practices as far as watering every single day, multiple times with a new sod, the challenge is, I feel like that it varies based on environment. This is a shaded area. The more moisture this gets and the longer it takes to dry, you're basically gonna have an invitation to a fungus like, hey, I'm throwing a party over here. It's an abundance amount of moisture. If you want to come over here and like give me some brown patch or something, or some type of just fungal disease, period, I'm letting you know that we got space available. So back to what I'm saying. Hopefully y'all get the concept of what I'm saying. If this was full sunlight, it'd be a little bit different. But got a shaded area. I want to make sure everything's buttoned up. So right now, I'll just complete these cuts for the day. It's going to take me probably about, hopefully ain't not here too long. Being that it's 3,000 square feet and I'm seeing it like pretty frequent in a lot of these locations, I feel like it's going to take a little minute, but I ain't going to put a time limit on it. I'm going to put a time limit on it. I'm just to make sure it's right. So when I'm done with it, I don't feel like, because I'm very surprised that I even walked this property and didn't notice this. You know, sometimes, and majority of the time, I ain't gonna say majority of the time, all the time, when you get sod from a sod farm, they're cutting this stuff at volume, y'all. They're cutting thousands a piece of sod a day. If you think that machine is gonna be perfect every time, it's not necessarily true. The accuracy of the millionth cut they do is not probably going to be perfect. So you're going to have pieces that have slight slants or whatever, and sometimes it's not cut at a vertical, like up and down. It's cut at a diagonal, slightly, then completely, just slightly. But that's all it takes, is a slight diagonal cut, and now it's showing more soil exposed, and it looked like the sod is not butted up to each other and stuff like that. So I try to explain that as well to the client so they can have an understanding of it. But I'm making these cuts because I'm about to roll the lawn, right? And it doesn't make sense for me to roll the lawn first and try to compact everything. Then I can't, I not compact, but roll the lawn, and then I can't identify where the sod is overlaying. So I'm doing the cuts first for that reason. I'm doing the cuts first. I'm supposed to be home with the family right now. It's Sunday. I'm supposed to be finishing up another project as far as rolling their lawn. I'm glad I got that side roller today, so that's out of my head. I was just talking to Alex. Me and Alex had a little meeting, so we had to put our minds together. And he was trying to help me put this side roller together that I just got. Because smart me, I was rushing to get out of the house, and I unboxed the side roller, but somehow, some way, I didn't have the instructions, and I know I had it in my hand before I left. So I was like, "Yeah, looks like we're gonna have to configure this out." And they had a whole bunch of different screws, washers. We made it happen though. We put it together. He's like, "Robert," he said, "we need to make it work now." Now this trip though. He used to out here chill with me on this good old Sunday for a minute. He adjusted the irrigation because client was worried about some of his plants receiving too much water. As far as his rose bushes, he said they don't like too much water. So we went ahead and got that situated. It's funny how this cutting thing works. I could walk line by line, but sometimes I feel like it's so easy to miss stuff. So I like to look from different angles to see what's popping up, because just what I didn't see was seen at another angle. So just being mindful. And sometimes you don't even necessarily, it ain't even overlaying. Sometimes you just got to get the cutter and cut between it to cut between each seam. That way everything has a smooth transition. So sometimes it ain't too crazy. To be honest with you, on this backside, I'm looking pretty good. And sometimes when it's bulging up too much, like this piece right here, y'all probably can't tell, but this right here is, this piece of sod has way more soil than this other piece. And ain't that it's not level. It's just it has more soil on it, so it's a little bit more elevated. Like, I wish there was a perfect machine that cut these things perfectly, and this wouldn't be a thing. But unfortunately, I just got to do a better job at setting the expectations for what's expected from the side, as far as visibility, etc. Because sometimes I find myself in these situations because I could have, clearly explained to the client, but I do feel like it's a legit argument. So I take accountability when something is not right. And if I got something in the contract and we get on the property and we overview it and overview the not say complaint, but the issue, and it's legit, I'm gonna address it like it's legit. I apologize for one. Say, hey, I apologize. We overlooked that. I'm sorry. Actually, try not to be that volume guy. That's my biggest thing when I'm talking to people. When I'm selling a lot of my jobs. In case you don't know, I do a lot of side installation. But one of the things that I put a lot of weight on is actually telling the client, hey, make sure my mic's still on, y'all. I got to double check on it every now and again. Because if I'm wasting my conversation, I'm going to feel some type of way. I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of crazy doing YouTube sometimes. You feel like you're talking to yourself when you're in the property. But I know people I know people are listening, so I'm just trying to always add context to what I'm talking about. But yeah, back to what I was saying. What I typically tell every single client, right, when I'm like doing my estimate and stuff like that, I say, hey man, we're not like we're not a volume based business, we're a value based business. The quality of our workmanship means the most. That's literally my bars. It's the bar. It's just the bar. And I tell the clients that because it's true. Like, bro, I'll be hell whenever if I do a job and I set myself up for it and it ain't right. Like, that do matter a lot to me. I am gonna go the extra mile, and I ain't going in a rush to get to the next property. So just deliver on what I told him, just to confirm. Hey, you know what? Oh, he's solid now. He said that, but him showing up after I told him and actually addressing exactly what I told him, I can rock with that. I can get down with that. Problem is, Rob need to slow down because I don't do I do a decent amount of projects, but there's so many logistics and moving parts that sometimes you, even though it ain't a lot of work going on, it's just little details. I need to be for I need to be looking forward to the process of completion, like following a literally an SOP until I'm completely done. I think stuff like um, checklists, and sheets and stuff like that are helpful to me because it allows me to review what I need to get done on the property. But for the most part, a lot of this stuff in my head. Like, I know that we gotta remove all the vegetation. I know we gotta go to the landfill. I know, some things are given, like, and it has to be figured out early on. Otherwise, it can be pretty chaotic. And I got these pieces of grass y'all probably seeing. It's like, oh, you got a new side. Why is it brown? It take a little while for everything to take, and it needs to definitely need to be properly irrigated and things like that for it to establish well. But yeah, his argument is definitely legit. Definitely legit. This area right here is getting a good amount of water. This is a lower part of the yard. We're grading. Yeah. So the water should go to the lowest part of the property. Well, it's gonna go. It's gonna go to the lowest part of the property. and that should be the exit. So I always, when I'm doing the grading areas like this, I build it up a little bit. That way, when the water flow out this way, everything's good. Yeah, it's all on the soil. Yeah, peat moss. Keep it moving. I think I addressed everything. Does dip a little bit there. I don't think I got too much overlaying over there. I don't see anything overlaying. So, all right, y'all. So now I'm getting to the bigger part of the job, which is this large area right here. And I could be cutting for days if I don't go and do a quick scan of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk on the exteriors of this part here. And try to address everything. Blinded by the light. Let's check that piece out right here, y'all. There's a slab right here, and there's a slab here, and there's a slab here. Y'all almost can't even see that seam right there. I love when that happens. I mean, the pieces are just doing what they're supposed to do. It looks like this area is laid pretty good. I'm gonna keep looking because this is stuff that you can literally overlook and not have direct. The side might not have direct contact with the soil. So I'm gonna do my due diligence and continue to sift through here to see if I'm finding any issues. What I am finding is side pieces that are cut like I told you, like they have a diagonal cut to it. That diagonal cut is something else. Looking good, looking good. So I just reviewed this area. I'm gonna continue on over here. And this is my little trash pile. So y'all see, there ain't much that I've cut so far, but I can see it as I walk up on pieces. Kind of point out some of the issues. Like, let me show you this from close up. You almost can't tell, but look at this piece right here. You see how that piece is? See how that piece is overlaying right there? So I'm gonna lift it up and see if it's laying on side. You see the yellow? If the side is yellow, that means this is laying on top of that. So I'm gonna lift that piece up and I'm gonna continue to cut. So that's basically what I'm addressing on this whole property. Because at the end of the day, I want the lawn to establish. That's the goal. I'm treating this lawn for over the next, 3 months. So I need a 100% success rate, baby. Look at that. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Yellow. What I usually do, and some of this, like right now, I just lift that up. Sometimes if you just lift up one piece over the other, sometimes it ain't even necessary for a cut. It's just pay attention to detail when you're doing it. Attention to detail when you're doing it, because you can easily just keep going. Well, I got to lay down. Keep going. Everything should look flush, y'all. I remember working with I worked for another side company early in my career. And there's a lady named Ms. D, which is the owner's mother or whatever. And Ms. D used to go through there. She had one of these, what I got in my hand, and she be getting it in. She just literally, she be addressing every piece that's not flush. Every piece. And she was very anal about the expertise of laying the sod down. And I always used to be looking at her like, what is she doing? Or why, that ain't even necessary. No, it's a reason for everything. And now that I got my company and I'm kind of going through the motions of making sure these things are done as well, I understand the attention to detail that she had. Everything that I'm doing today is from previous experience. Previous experience has prepared me for. Ms. D being so, detail oriented on doing the side jobs is what's making me be the exact same way to try to uphold a high standard of quality work. Because there's many people that'll come out here, do a job, and they running for the hills, y'all. You call them, you want to, they act like it's water under the bridge while you calling them, and it can't be like that. Because at the end of the day, we're in a business of relationships and people. Relationships and people. They got to be right. Relationships, communication, delivering with people. Oh boy, I'm tired, man. I always say I need to slow it down. I'll just be like, all gas, no brakes, baby. All gas, no brakes. Got to keep it going. All gas, no brakes. I'm gonna put a granular. Insecticide on this lawn, just as a preventative. They are backed up to like woods. They have a bunch of bamboo surrounding the property. Look like, not say wetlands, but a decent amount of you can have anything basically come in on this lawn and nothing to mess up this work that we've accomplished. A piece of me feel like this is like doing what's it called? Artificial turf. How they be having a broom and they be trying to make everything smooth, whatever. That's how I feel a little bit, but it ain't that detailed like that. It's a little bit easier. What I am learning from a little bit of this job is when I'm working with Alex and we're doing like backfilling and stuff for him, to make sure we compact it pretty good, because around the perimeter of the property, oh, excuse me, around the perimeter of the property, I'm noticing where his trencher was that it slightly dips a little bit more than I would like it to. Those are details. Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving, y'all. Keep it moving. I did a short reel about this tree right here. We extended it out with this where this pine is at. We extended it out because the roots of the turf was poking up a little bit higher, and if you think this grass is gonna grow directly on top of those roots, probably won't. Probably won't. So yeah. Guess who's beside? Still smell it blowing my clothes like Krispy Kreme. I was cooking the moles. Y'all forgive me for my randomness. Sometimes I have music in my head. I just gotta recite the bars. Cash rule everything around me, so what's real? About the Skrilla call me a ghost face killer. Yeah, I liking those brown spots. Don't judge me, y'all. Just give me some time. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna show y'all a video of that lawn that was Bermuda and it was completely brown. I did a short on it with it or whatever, and it was completely brown just about 3-4 weeks ago. Man, that Bermuda did what Bermuda do. That thing is so green. I hit it with some fertilizer, some biostimulants, some root growth enhancers, and man, it took off like a rocket. All it took for me to travel down to Florida and that rain did what the rain do, and it made it right. Let me show y'all this piece over here. This is why I'm here. Little things like this here. I just found this piece and I feel like I can show you. So the sod was laid down right here. This is the slab. It was laid this way. You see that? This is not on soil. It's literally on top of the grass. On top of the grass. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut here and I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to remove the other one out of the way like a puzzle. That's my way of like just fixing it without having to guess. I hate doing all that guessing. Because some people will be like, oh, they'll do this right here. Hold on. They'll look at this piece and they'll start cutting where they think it ends at. And sometimes that ain't right. So I'd rather just cut it in from the outside. See, I just moved that little square out. I know this is gonna fit in. And look at that. You would have never known I was here. That's my little way of doing it, but it's more than one way to skin a cat. All right. And I see other pieces down here like that as well. Like, tell me I ain't tripping. Tell me I ain't tripping. But there's more pieces down there like that as well that I'm seeing that pops up. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but right here, this piece of side is popping up right here. I can see the soil. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lift it up. And basically, it makes sense for this not to be right and somebody to overlook it. But anybody who's doing a border should know when you're making a curve with any type of side, it's gonna throw it off. Like it's not gonna be. You can't lay pieces directly butted up to each other and have a curve. You're gonna have a little bit of a variance. So this is a slight variance. And all I need to do is really just cut, and I'll be able to drop it in. See, I just cut right where the corner was, and now I can pick both of these pieces up. And the seams, you can't even see it now. Sometimes it just butts up like right at the corners, like right in those spaces. This stuff right here, I don't know if y'all can see me, but this right here is cut at a slant. So some of it is not on a direct soil. Tell me these guys didn't do this. Look like they put some of it on grass, y'all. Bro, what are we doing, guys? You boys wilding, man. So this right here, y'all. This is why I should be doing a quality check. What's going on with this? I wouldn't know this until it actually browned up and I wasn't here to actually install it. But when I have an issue in certain places like this, it's actually grass under here. So they didn't remove all of the grass. So just a slight bit, like it's going leading up to the pine straw, but that's the point of it looking like that. It's bothersome because if my client come over here and they do the same thing I'm doing, and they see that grass under there, it's like, bro, what do you guys do? Y'all lay grass on top of grass? That ain't what we're doing. So there's grass over there that I gotta clear out real quick. So it ain't that much, but it's just one of those things. And it's right here. I'm gonna move this piece aside and I'm gonna come just show you because ain't no need to hide it. Nah, we ain't gonna be shy today. And I'm gonna show y'all what the sod is doing for it. It is trying to root this piece don't look like it's trying to root right here, and it's probably because it's on the very tail end of the zone. But let me show you closer what I'm talking about. So these pieces are, this one specifically, see that grass? It's all grass. Like how come the new side root, if it got a whole different root system out of there that it's competing against? And this dude's landscaping is amazing, top notch. I do not see people who take care of their landscape like this. Check this out. These things got names on them. Every plant, name tag, name tag. This one's called Endless Summer, and it's a hydrangea. Everything got names. It got rose bushes, etc. I love people who take care of this stuff, so got to make sure I'm taking care of them. So, anywho, let me get back to what I'm doing. I got to clear out this grass. That way, this area can root properly. So next time it get watered, it's more soil, grass to soil contact. This crap shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. Just continue to clear it out. So I'm gonna revisit this video. I'm gonna probably pop it in the chat GPT because I'm a G-Light app, and I'm gonna tell it to analyze the issues that I had with having to revisit the property and all those things. I mean, and then I'm gonna tell it, hey, help me create a checklist for completing a sod installation from the previous experiences that I explained within the video. And it's going to analyze my video, and it's going to shoot out me some footnotes, because sometimes Rob be working so much he forget things, and it's very normal. I'm human. Like, I might leave here today and forget next project we do, but we got projects coming up in the next 2 weeks. I need to go ahead and address these things and learn real fast from the mistakes that's being made. But the funny part is 2 different teams that did it. 2 different teams. The first team, they did their thing. Second team, they did their thing too. You know, the first team had, and why I'm tripping about it and harping on them so much is, it was 13 or 14 pallets they did. And for them to not have abundance of like mistakes or whatever, it's surprising, very surprising. Like, I went and double checked over a lot of it, and I didn't find them any like issues like that stood out, and it looked really good. Client was happy. I was happy because they accomplished it without me. That shows that that's some growth there. So what's going to happen is I'm about to Mike Andy's them boys and do some P for P. Hey man, if I got to go revisit a site, this performance thing, pay for P for P, y'all. If you don't know about it, it's pay for performance. It's a lawn care landscape provider named Mike Andy's on YouTube. Been around for years. OG. He owns franchises called Augusta Lawn Care. And Mike Andy's wrote a book called P for P. And basically, what I get from it is you have a base pay, right? Somebody might, let's say, made $15 an hour, right? If you guys perform within the budgeted hours, or if you exceed the budgeted hours, you get to split a portion of the profits based on your performance. Like, you get a share of the profits to an extent. So that's an incentive to make people not really focus on, you know, because some people can milk a clock, you know. If you could just, clock in and do the basics and get paid, cool. But if you know you clock in, you get your base pay, but if you perform above average when it comes to project completion, you get incentivized. Instead of you making $15 an hour, you just made $35 an hour because you performed above the scheduled budgeted hours for that job. Because at the end of the day, it's man hours. A lot of these, you know, we make money off of labor. People paying us for the expertise. I wouldn't say necessarily the material costs and all that stuff. It boiled down to labor. What are you charging for labor to basically make profits on a job? Some people get their profits through, you know, upcharging on material costs, and they recoup their overhead expenses as far as what it requires them to do it by, you know, upcharging on material. But tomatoes, tomatoes. You know, there's many different ways to do things. I like that P for P though. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. It's a different thing to think about it and try to implement it. And you have to be vulnerable to open up the books to the employees, meaning, hey, this is what this job is gonna make, and I'm gonna basically I'm gonna pull my pants down, let you see everything, and that way we all on the same page, which sounds crazy, don't it? I'm gonna pull my pants down, show you everything, so we can all be on the same page. That's literally what you're doing when you do P for P. So um, I like what I like about it. I would love to be transparent, and at the end of the day, if somebody want to think about what the profits of a business is making, you know, the company, that's how they keep people employed. You got to make profits. Profits grow a business. You can't just be grossing and recycling money and paying employees. Employees great, but the business is suffering. That ain't cool. And I've had experiences even over the, and it's a continuous battle where you got people that you're working with, like they know they're getting paid a certain amount. Like they kind of chill. I don't like that because it put the business in a state of like, okay, this person gonna do the basics to get what they need, but don't expect much more, and it puts you in a position of like you can only go so far as the employee's gonna take the business to an extent. Because I'm only one person. I sure wish I can do, you know, 20, 20 pallets or 10 pallets and stuff like that by myself, but I ain't old or nothing. But it's just not ideal if I'm trying to think on a scale of what can I duplicate so I can show somebody else and we can just continue to, run it up. It requires people, and it requires the right people, not just people, the right people. And that's a process of continuously trying different people, different, scenarios, and see how they play out. I'm going to learn from experience. Learn from experience. All right. I removed the grass from these areas, y'all, and I laid the side back exactly where it's supposed to go. And I think this grass is going to do well. I did see some roots trying to shoot, so I think it's going to be fine. In a second, I'm probably going to fire on the irrigation because I want this lawn to be easy as possible to roll. So I'm going to fire on the irrigation system and make sure I do that. Make sure the soil is moist enough for that sod roller to do what it needs to do. Because that sod roller is 300 pounds. I think 290 or something they said, but pretty heavy. Heavy enough to make a difference with the soil or whatever. Oh boy, I'm sweating like can be. I've been dropping pounds of sweat, y'all. Pounds. Let me see if the mic's still on, the mic is still on. I thought the mic died on me. That phone gonna die on me if the mic haven't. But I've been on here for like 38 minutes. I'm about to finish up this last piece, y'all. My phone is on 5%, so y'all won't be able to catch the full thing. But just know I'm making it right with the client because the job was not complete. I'll see y'all in the next one, though.